Hi guys. We gotta wait 24 hours to do a live after you get the 50 subscribers. So maybe tomorrow night it will work. So tonight we're going to do a basic pillar pop-up card. So you will need and let me just try and adjust that a little better there. You will need one piece of 6 by 6.5, and you're going to put the 6.5 inside at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. Then you're going to need 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 6.5, and you are going to score them at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 on the 6.5 inch side. You're also going to need 2 pieces that are 3 by 6.5. You're going to score them at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 on the 6 inch side. And you're going to need 1 piece that is 1.5 by 6.5, and you're going to score that at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6 on the 6.5 side. So you're going to have all them pieces are going to look like this, and you're going to want to put a piece of double-sided tape on each one of your 1/2 inch flaps, and then you're just going to fold on your score lines and varnish all of them pieces. Now I'm going to flip the bottom side up, and we'll put this card together. If I can get it. It wants to be a pain tonight. So you're going to take your pieces, and if you want to just make them look a little neater, just go from your score line and just cut them at an angle. You don't have to, but it does make it look a little better because you won't see where they hook together at the top. Then just peel off the backing of your double-sided tape. Fold it in half, and then just bring this right over on top, making sure that you're lined up at your top and at your bottom. Give it a good press down, and there you have your pillar. And I've already done all of them. To save some time. So now you're going to take your tallest pillar and you're going to go to your next size down. And since it is a pop-up, I do suggest that you use double-sided tape. And you are just going to tape one section and make sure that you do stay a little bit away from your fold line. But if you don't have double-sided tape, of course you can use glue. I would not suggest using Glue Runner. And I finally got a little pick tool that I can actually use, and I found that in all places at our new Dollar General store for $1. And it definitely has made my life a lot easier. All the other ones I got, I don't know if they were angled wrong or what, but I just couldn't get them to work. So now you have your double-sided tape. You're going to take your tallest one and you are going to line it up at the bottom. And right along that score line. And you're going to want to press it down and get in there and give it a good varnish. So now that is what you have. Then you're going to take your one that matches this one and you're going to do the exact same thing. And like I said, ladies, doing the most recent cards that I did in our group, so I can work my way backwards on the ones that have been already deleted. And possibly tomorrow night I will have you a new twist on a stair card. I think I've worked out a different way, a totally different way to make one. And then you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to make sure that it's level at the bottom, and you're going to butt that right up against your other one. And I think maybe yeah, that will work good, better. It's got a little longer reach. So there. That's what we have so far. And then you go to your next lowest one. And you're going to do the exact same. Oops. And you will line it up at the bottom. And run it right down your middle line. So that's what we have. Now you'll take your other one and do yeah, that's the end of that roll. Let's see here. I think this is the same size as what I was using. This is a little wider. So we only need two. And you're just going to take that, line it up with your bottom, and put it right up against that one. And give that a good varnish. And now you're going to take your smallest one, and see, I've already got my tape on it, and you're going to want to put tape on both of them. And that is going to go right there. And I did decorate the front. I got ahead of myself, which I shouldn't have, and you'll see why, but I will tell you when we get there. But I honestly don't think that it's going to show. You're just going to flatten your card out and line up your middle fold right in the middle and line it up on the bottom. Don't stick quite yet. And see, that fits right in between them fold lines. So there's our card base done. Okay. Now you're going to need two mats that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and 2 layers that are 1 by 1. And I have mine already put together. And we're just going to put some glue on that. And just center that right there. And then take your other one and put it right there. And you can use this one as your guide, so they're level. Okay, and now you're going to need 2 mats that are 1 1/4 by 5 3/4, and 2 layers that are 1 by 5 1/2. And I've already done mine. And you're just going to want to flip your card over, and these will go right there. So just put some glue on these. And I'm doing it in sections to not confuse you, and I'm giving you measurements per section. So, and I almost forgot again, same mistake. And you're going to need 2 pieces that are 1 by 2 3/4. And with the 1-inch side at the top of your scoreboard, you're going to want to score it in half, at 1/2 inch. Fold on your score line. Put some glue on that. On one side of it. And just center that. And that way, your mat and layer covers up your little hinge. That's what I forgot to do on my 2 front little pieces. And here's my other one. And I'm just going to put glue on that. And I'm just going to line that up with that one. And the folded end goes to your score line right there. See? And they pop up that way. And now you can glue on your matten layer. See, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes, especially when they blend right in with my desk. Okay, and just center that on. Just like that. So there's the back of our card. Now, you will need 2 mats that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and 2 layers that are 1 by 1. And those are going to go right there. And you just center that on. And you can use your top one as your guide, so they're straight. Stuck to my tape again. And then that one goes right there. Okay. And then you need 2 mats that are 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 and 2 layers that are 1 by 4. Which I've already done. And they go right there. Now, with this being me using black cardstock, I didn't feel the need to cover these. But if you would want to cover these back ones, then you would cut 4 mats that are 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 and 4 layers that are 1 by 4. I would probably suggest, if you're using a lighter color cardstock, you may want to do the extra mats and layers, but that is the back of your card. And honestly, nobody's going to really see it. And this is another good scrap card. I'm just using some gold mirror paper scraps I had, and I'm using some of my scraps that I had left over. The black rose is leftover scraps from the Graphic 45 Allison Wonderland Curiouser and Curiouser pack. I am trying to use up my scraps, so I am not overwhelmed with scraps again. Okay, so there's what it's looking like so far. Now you'll need 2 mats that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and 2 layers that are 1 by 1, and those are going to go right there on our card. Okay. And then next you'll need, and again depending on if you want to cover the backs or not, you'll either need 2 or 4 mats that are 1 1/4 by 2 3/4, and either 2 or 4 layers that are 1 by 2 1/2. And these go there. And where is it? Here is one that I made previously. And using the lighter cardstock, you do see that I did decorate the back. So that is totally up to you. And we're just going to glue these on. And just center them and line them up. just center that one and stick it down really good. And then you'll need 2 mats that are 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and 2 layers that are 1 by 1, and that's what's on here. And you will need 2 pieces that is a 1/2 inch by 1, and on the 1 inch side at the top of your scoreboard you're going to want to score them in half. And you'll see they're just little itty bitty hinges. And they go on just like the one I put on the back. But I forgot them, so I'm going to have to stick mine on top of my mat in my layer. And you do it exactly the same. You want the fold to go towards the middle of your card, and you're just going to glue one little flap. And you're just going to want to center that. And then we'll do this one. And we'll just butt that one right up against that one. And give it a good press down. And then this is where yours may differ from mine, because depending on what you use for your decorations, your sentiments, whatever size that they are, if you use journaling card, what you put here will be different than what I put. So, I mean, that measurement will vary. And all I did was take one of their little cards. I did mat it, and I put 4 little sticky gems on it. If you want to know the size that I used, my mat is 3 inches by 2 1/2, and my little card is 2 by 2 1/2. So that's the size I'm using. And I'm just going to put glue on them 2 little flaps. And you know, you can bring it up however high you want, as long as you don't go over the top of your card, because if you go over the top of your card, it's not going to fit in your envelope. And you just want to line this up and make sure that it is even with the bottom of your card or comes up above the bottom of your card. And just give that a good press. So, there is the front of our card. Now, for the back of your card, what I did is I used a 3x3 square, and I used another piece that was 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and then I used another piece that was 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. And as you can see, I did mine square, diamond, square. You could mat and layer them so they're all squares, or you can mat and layer them and turn them as a diamond. Whatever you like as a look. And I did mine white because I was gonna stamp a sentiment, and then I found this chipboard piece that I thought went with the front, so I just glued that on for my sentiment, and I just used some little sticky gems. So all you do is you just put glue on your two little hinges right here. Make sure I got it right side up. And I'm just gonna center that right there. Give it a good press. So, there's the back of our card. And the more you work it, the more it'll pop out. So there is our card. Very simple, very easy, definitely a scrap card. Takes no time to put together. So there's one look with it without doing the full back of it. And then there's this one, and the back is totally finished. And see, you can stamp a sentiment on there. And the only other thing I think I'm going to do to that card and I do need a piece of scrap paper. Which, if I put it, so since this is a sticker, I'm just going to back half of it. And cut around it. Just like that. So I backed one side and left one side sticky. So I can just stick it there and give it a little bit more dimension, and then that part of the sticker is covered so it will not stick my card together. So that is it for tonight. I hope you have enjoyed, and like I said, it said that after you get 50 subscribers, you have to wait 24 hours for the live option to work. So I will try that tomorrow and hopefully it works. So until next time, I hope you have enjoyed and have a great night, and thank you very much to all of you that subscribed and to the ones of you that went above and beyond to help get us the 50 subscribers. Good night.